Welcome to Woman Crush Every Day, where we discuss queer media, especially when it is black and especially when it is woman. I'm your host, Tang B, aka Sean B. Scribe.
And I'm your host, Allison, aka Al Woo.
And today we are going to be discussing The Watermelon Woman by Cheryl Dunye.
Yes, y'all. But before we get into all that goodness, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that way you can find out about all the delicious videos that we drop weekly featuring content that talks about queer black media, representations of lesbian women in the world.
All that good stuff that you want.
Get with us.
And you really want it this month. I mean, you should want it every month. I want it every day.
Right?
But it's Black History Month. So we ended January with talking about A Love Tale, the 1999 film by Cedra Smith. But today we're going to go even further back in time to the first feature film created by a black lesbian ever. This is 1996 film, The Watermelon Woman by Cheryl Dunye, who's gone on to do amazing other things.
Oh, yeah.
Been involved in so many other projects.
Has directed on Lovecraft Country,
yes,
Queen Sugar,
yes,
The Shy,
Star.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
What's your favorite show? She probably was involved at some point.
You know what I'm saying? So, shout out this phenomenal filmmaker who has just trailblazed, really, for this type of content. So, thank you so much, and we're glad to hop into our review.
Yes. So, first thing, how did we watch this? Was this HBO Max?
Oh my gosh,
or
we
Showtime?
have so many channels at this
I think
point.
it was on Showtime that you can watch this. You can also watch it on Hulu if you have their more expensive TV package.
Yeah, and wasn't it also streaming on Philo?
Yeah, you could get it on that. Yeah. Awesome. So what was your favorite scene?
Okay, so there were a lot of really, really funny moments in this movie. I feel like I didn't do a lot of research going into the film of what to expect. So I feel like there were these, I have to say, it's tough to look at it for just favorite scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe we should say a little bit about what happens in the film too.
We absolutely should start with the synopsis. What are we doing?
So the film follows Cheryl, who's playing herself, although this is more of a mockumentary. I don't know if I would say fully mockumentary, but it's a fictional documentary. And she is trying to uncover the identity of the Watermelon Woman, who is this woman, this black woman who was in early films but not named. Her character wasn't named within the movies.
Well, yeah, her credit was only the Watermelon Woman.
Yeah. So
Cheryl is on a quest to find who the Watermelon Woman is, and that's what this documentary is about.
Yeah.
It kind of crosses between this documentary and this narrative story where we just are in the life of Cheryl. She's working with her friend Tamara at a video store where they are checking out videos. Remember the days when people used to go and rent videos in the shop?
Oh man, so long ago.
Yeah, so it kind of it's flipping back and forth between her on this quest to find out who the Watermelon Woman is and just a day in the life of Cheryl as a filmmaker.
Awesome. All right, so from that,
boom, right back to favorite moments. Favorite scenes. So as I was saying, this was a film that I feel like it was difficult to say what was my favorite moments, even though I do have a favorite moment. But when I was first watching it, I'm trying to piece together
where are we going?
How real is this? What is happening? But I was like, this can't be real. This has to be some sort of just let's laugh with it, let's roll with the punches, and really see where the filmmaker is going. But my favorite scene has to be the moment where Cheryl ends up interviewing one of her mother's friends, and one of her mother's friends knew the Watermelon Woman. We find out the identity of the Watermelon Woman is this singer, actor named Faye Richards.
Yeah.
And it's this family friend who explains all of this history of this woman and how she was queer and sang to all the butch lesbians in the clubs, and they all just fawned over her. And I think it was just a beautiful moment for me to see this elder lesbian talking about the fun that was had back in the day.
Yes.
So I thought that was fun. That was my favorite scene.
That definitely was mine. I think the moment within that scene was when you finally saw the picture of Faye Richards in drag, like as she would be singing. She's got like the suit on and the swivel, hair, and just like looking so butch queenly. It was just so beautiful. I loved it. But my second favorite scene was when Cheryl was at Clit.
Right? Good stuff.
Community lesbian.
Yeah. Like
something.
Center for Lesbian Information and Technology.
There we go.
Was Clit. Hilarious.
So when she was at Clit and she was like looking at the photos of Faye Richards, and the woman who's over the collective is like, look, you can't just film this. We have to like get permission from the committee to see if we will let you even have this box for research. And all the while she's like filming.
She's like, get this. Shoot it. Oh, zoom in. Yeah, that was funny.
There's great comedy in this.
Yeah, there was so much. I think it was really enjoyable for me to see the comedic approach on history telling.
Yeah.
And then in like finding more out about the film, and Cheryl's reasoning for making the film, I thought was really cool, for saying like, there's not a lot of history that's there, so how can I create this history and help tell these stories? So I'm gonna leave a lot of this conversation for the queer canon part, but I did just have to throw that out there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so woman crush.
Okay, my woman crush is Cheryl.
I mean, boom.
In all respects, because I feel like there's Cheryl as the character, there's Cheryl as the director, there's Cheryl as the actor, there's Cheryl as the historian, there's Cheryl as the like origin story creator and fiction writer. And I just feel like I'm super intrigued by all of those Cheryls. But also, Cheryl's character was bringing all of the lesbian 90s fashion to the screen. Every scene, she had a different look.
She's
like,
fresh as hell.
Yes, I can do a dress. I can do the slacks. I can do the overalls. I can do the short shorts. I can do the long shorts. Like, she was like,
I can do butt ass naked.
Butt ass naked. Okay, the butt ass naked scene, I was like,
okay. Oh, okay.
I see you.
All right, Sarah.
We all see you.
Cheryl. All right. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely woman crush. And just as the filmmaker, as the director, living on, Cheryl Dunye definitely is a woman, like continued woman crush, just content creation crush all over the place.
Yeah, totally. I think, as you were going down the list of all of the things that she represented on screen, like, that is so much. I mean, all of those things, like, yes, that's worthy of a woman crush, but I think also, to me, that just feels very representative of like the Black aesthetic, like putting so many versions of yourself out there. I mean, like, really just saying, hey, this is me, this is what I bring to the table. I'm funny, I'm sexy, I'm serious about my craft, I'm ambitious, I'm thought-provoking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to, like, I'm doing all of these things. I'm just a regular person. I'm working at the video store. I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm about to smoke this J. When she said the line about, I guess it's time for playing J, right before they smoked this joint, I died. I was like, yo, this is
great.
Speak for the children in 1996. So, yeah, I think everything about it was like, this is great. Thank you so much for just using, I don't want to say using yourself, but like allowing yourself to be this representation of all of us.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say she was your woman crush.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, totally. No, totally was.
Shout out to Tamara though. Tamara was also serving, looks. She was there representing Black love. Everybody talking about there's no Black love. There's no Black love. Well, okay, she had a whole boo. Yeah. They was out together. They was trying to hook Cheryl up. Cheryl wasn't feeling it. Nobody would have been.
I totally liked how they also the situation wasn't like starved for women. Like, there were people there. There were interested people there. Yeah. They were going out on dates. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, Tamara was totally with the shits too, which was also, she was like, let's plan these things. Let's go out. Let's get freaky. Let's, hit the town. Like, so shout out her too. Just
Love it.
for being there.
So much more to come back to. Okay. What should stay? What should go?
Okay. So I think off top, I have to say just this is a foundational Black lesbian film. Keep it.
Foundational Black lesbian
I mean, you know
film.
what I'm saying?
And it's great.
It's really tough to say what needs to go out of this film when it's like in so many ways we're opening up the doors.
Yeah.
You said I got things.
Well, okay. Not that need to go from the film, but when I think about what the film is saying about society, there are things that I think need to go. No, so yeah, I think the film is great. Yes.
And I have this, and so this is a film, foundational Black lesbian film. Stay. So happy that it exists. I also think, and I spoke to this in talking about Tamara, but I think showing the community of Black lesbians, and not necessarily like showing, because they showed a little bit, but I think the speaking to, there is a community. It wasn't like this is some, like there's nobody out there for us. So I love that they built that history. I love that they built those examples of Black lesbian love over time.
Yes.
So yeah, that for me is what can stay. What can go is the fact that this was fake. What? Like,
you want it to be real.
I want it to be real so much. I don't want it to be real in that, we come to find this woman because she played an enslaved person, a mammy character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just unfortunate for the history of Black Americans in film.
Yeah. But it's also part of the reality.
It's part of the reality, totally. So, I think I like that it wasn't like that we're going to this mammy who had to go through all this stuff, who also like got played by her lover, which is a piece that, that we have to go into. Like, she was dating, kind of like seeing this white film producer actress named Martha Page, Faye Richards was, and I just like that the whole use. I mean, Martha represented kind of that racial hierarchy, saying of what Black folks can have access to. She denied her as a lover, you feel how
it's disgusting.
I care about this story so much, like it's real.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like the fact that this isn't even a real story, that hurt my feelings. That could go.
I feel you on that. I want Faye Richards to be real. As soon as, I saw the picture of her in drag, I was like, I want her to be real. Because she is real in so many ways. So what can definitely stay is the way that they showed other singers that were real, other actors that were real over time. They shot you photographs that you can like go and find the details for. It's almost like a scavenger hunt that she presented. Like, I created a scavenger hunt for this movie. Like, I'm gonna find this woman, but these are snapshots of real people. Y'all can go find yourselves in. So that can stay. I think creating a history, I think her whole point of like, at the end of the movie, it says like, I created a history because, well, I don't remember the exact quote, so I don't want to say it, but the sentiment was like, I had to create this history because I know it exists. And I think that sentiment can stay. The whole video store nostalgia, I loved it. I was like, oh yeah, and then it's just the boxes and the movies aren't in there because you gotta go get the movie.
They don't want you stealing
Maybe
the
it's
movie
checked out. Right? Is it all the way rewound? Is it not rewound at all? Is it gonna start you off in the movie, start you off on the credits? Like, what's gonna happen? It just took me back to all of that, and then also like somebody telling you, recommending a movie to you, or seeing what movies people gravitate towards, and like that being a communal experience. Whereas now it's like you buy your movie ticket online, or you stream it in your house. You don't talk to nobody about it that's not there. It's totally a solitaire experience rather than this thing that used to be. So
and AI does that now. Like, Netflix tells you, oh, you like this, or you watch this movie, you watch all the way to the end, or you probably like these three. And, it shows that time where people made those recommendations.
Yeah.
For you.
So that was beautiful to see. I love the comedy. I even love the little quirky dance scenes and like the little things they do, the little moments that she shows, like the interaction with the police and just that little moment. The conversation with Diana, and Diana having had these previous black boyfriends and a Black Panther that's in her family, and just kind of like seeming like she's trying to gravitate towards with being down with blackness, and like that moment of uncertainty, like, why are you with me? And all these little moments that I love. What can go is white people.
Click, click, pow. Okay, so, all right.
You know, because I feel like Diana is the love interest. But at the same time, I feel like the only other white love interest there is Martha Page. And the juxtaposition kind of makes Diana seem like she's good. Like, Martha Page is like hiding this romance, won't credit her on movies, won't talk about the fact that she's with her, won't admit to anything. And Diana is like, I'll put a porn tape on my tab for you because I think you're cute. But then there's also this like, this uncertainty, this like misunderstanding of culture that Diana has that she doesn't see as clearly as Cheryl sees. And yeah, just don't. No. The story is, I'm so happy that the story centers Faye Richards, and I'm so happy that within the story there was this case made by Faye's lover, the lover she died with, her friend, who was like, she didn't want white people part of her story, and that being a point of view within it. And I think to see this like black lesbian who's creating, who has this community, who is able to find love, who people are interested in, who still ends up dating this white woman, who also uncovers the story, and at the end of it, the message that Faye Richards was left with was like, I can't quite trust it, and I wonder if that's kind of what Cheryl's character is left with. So whiteness can go, but the whole conversation can stay.
Spit. I loved how you laid that out. That was really, really awesome. Yeah, and that was one of the things I was thinking about, like, what all is Diana supposed to represent? Because at some point, you know, she tells us about these black lovers that she's had in the past, and it's like, is this a fetishization? Like, what is this relationship? We don't really know, and it also doesn't really give us all the answers.
No.
But it does give us the questions. It does make the questions come up. So yeah. All right. So where does this fit in the queer canon?
This is the queer canon. I mean, it's the start of the queer canon. It's why we have a queer canon at all. And I love that it gets to be the first, because so many movies that are in the canon are about suffering, and this is about like resurrection. This is about like uncovering. This is about like creating yourself, finding pieces of where you've always existed. And I love that the center of this story is like a black woman searching for another black woman's identity.
Yes.
And it's black queer women, and yes, it is. I think that's what the queer canon is always about, is black queer women searching for themselves.
Yeah. You know, I found an article where Cheryl Dunye is speaking about her conviction around creating this content that celebrates the images and representations of black lesbian women. And in the quote, she says that there is no black lesbian canon. And I think when I saw that quote, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I mean, she's speaking to a reality that kind of was, and in ways it's like, I see what you're saying, but it's like, this is what we do. It's like, we have a show because there's content to talk about. Yeah. There are movies like this. There is a history from, you know, even if it started in 1996, which was not that long ago. I was born in the 80s.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't there.
No.
But I mean, like, we still we have people going back to pull into those stories like the Ma Rainey's, like the Bessies of the world. You know, so being able to, even if we haven't always had this story told on film, like in real time as it's happening, we are in the place now where we have filmmakers who can go back and identify those Black queer women who have transformed culture and start telling those stories. And they started to do that. You know, they started to do that. So I'm just really, really excited that the work continues, and that, you know, this film was a part of those first works. You know, publicly saying, like, how do we show Black queer women who are happy, smart, you know, intelligent, sexy, all the things, you know, all the things, all the ways in which where we feel like, I want that freedom, I want to have that freedom. And I feel like she really help set the tone for the existence of these characters that we get to talk about.
Absolutely. And it is a sexy film.
Absolutely.
It's sexy, it's smart, it's funny. It's really trying to give you everything. It was like, look, we out here. We at Outfest, we trying to show out. I'm going to be the first.
I'm sorry. I feel like I have to say, though, like, the sex scenes in this film, I'm like, for this to be the first, y'all didn't pull no punches. Like, I mean, like a half a punch, but because it wasn't like porn. But no. I still feel like for showing these women's bodies and showing the intimacy, they leaned in.
They really did.
These kisses, okay? These kisses,
these curves,
the nipples, the whole
they were
the
going
regions,
into it.
You know what I mean? We really got into that. You know, like, I mean, they really showed us, and I think that was just crazy.
I love that.
Not crazy,
because,
but like, wow.
But how many films, like, from the 90s that were like lesbian films, mostly white lesbian films, where it's like you spend half the film like longing.
Yeah.
This is like no, we love. We love. We make love. We fuck. We do all of that. And this isn't about like discovering who we are or like getting okay with ourselves. It's like, no, we out here. Not only are we out here, but we make art about it.
Yeah, we are confident, comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Two lesbians filming a heterosexual wedding. When that's how you open.
Yeah.
We in reality.
Let's go.
Even though it's fake, we in reality.
Totally.
So definitely check out the film. I don't know if there was anything else that we wanted to say about the queer canon.
I don't know. I think I want to add that I love how the film spoke about so many topics while still centering Black lesbian joy.
Yes.
It goes into racism and, you know, institutional racism and police brutality and sexism, and it's like all these things. It goes into so many like deep issues without ever removing Black lesbian joy from the center. And I just I love that. Like, that's my favorite thing about this film. So yeah, check it out.
Check it out.
Celebrate this film.
That's the note to leave off on. Celebrate Black lesbian love all Black History Month.
Yeah.
You know, Valentine's Day all long. Do it. We're gonna bring you some more things that you should check out for the Black queer canon that's like rooted in Black history. Things that you want to know. So next we're gonna talk about Bessie. We'll talk about Pariah. We'll talk about Jules Ketchwan.
Yes. And
then we'll be out of February. Yeah. And then we're still going to keep talking about queer Black women.
That's
so
it.
It's like Black history every week. Every week. So, awesome. All right. Well, make sure you subscribe. Check out the film. Let us know what you think. And yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
Yep.
Peace.